Hello and welcome. I am Zabraxi. That moment right before a content patch or a big expansion drop is quite possibly my favorite time to play an MMO, and now with the classic TBC pre-patch being out, I thought it might be fun to kind of sit back and talk about pre-patches in general. Are they good? Are they bad? What purpose do they serve? Let's see. Let's go! I did a poll a little while back asking how long people felt the optimal time for a pre-patch should be. While the results of around 4 weeks weren't that surprising, I received several comments from people about how they didn't like pre-patches at all to begin with. Honestly, this was pretty shocking to me. I've always found that the pre-patch window has such a unique air about it. This moment where the entire player base is in motion of preparation. The market becomes lively as people skill up their professions. Zones in the world become flooded with players as people level up alts or new mains. Since everyone is leveling, then the dungeons fill up better than ever. PvP activity kicks up as the influx of players comes sweeping in. The whole experience is like a small version of that new expansion launch feeling. There's this promise of something more, and it's just off on the horizon. Any of you who were around for it during vanilla or played it during classic, the AQ war effort always kind of felt like a pre-patch to me. The real bulk of the content we were all waiting for just wasn't there yet, but we could see it though. The gates of Encourage were physically there and we knew what was coming. Despite my criticisms with the AQ opening event, one thing I am forced to praise is that it instilled within everyone a strong sense of anticipation. I don't want this video to turn into a full design discussion about game pacing specifically, though that is a talk that I am sure we'll have at some point, but anticipation is often a very overlooked element. The beauty of anticipation is that, if done well, even knowing the outcome beforehand doesn't ruin the experience. Playing a horror game like Alien Isolation is tense, and the horror of that title doesn't come from the moment that the alien attacks you. What makes you terrified is the downtime in between. Even when you know that you screwed up and alerted the xenomorph, that anticipation between now and the known result of death will now force your body into a stiff upright position. Despite the fact that we already know what the demons rushing through the dark portal in pre-patch means, it's this window of time that allows players to prepare themselves. Players can prepare their leveling, their professions, their guilds, their real lives. All of these preparations need to happen just as the characters in the world of Azeroth need to prepare. One of the biggest compliments that I can give to a game like Celeste, which I still need to play by the way, is the fact that its gameplay and story seem to be in perfect sync. The gameplay is all about platforming and overcoming this mountain, whereas the story is about overcoming this personal and emotional mountain. They're perfectly intertwined. In WoW, you actually get that with a pre-patch, where the gameplay of preparation matches the story of preparing for something big to come. What's really cool about MMOs though, is it also adds this social element where guilds and players and teams and friends are all preparing. So in a game like WoW, you get the gameplay, the story, and now the X factor, the social element of preparation, to all culminate into something truly special that you really can't find in any other genre, or heck, even within the own game, outside some very unique moments. One of the best things that I've noticed in the past week or so is the social buzz that's going on all the time. I'm seeing and hearing it everywhere, from YouTube to Twitter to Discord to the game itself. When there is content on the way, it seems to make people lively and in turn become far more sociable. I even have a friend who wasn't interested in playing TBC and finally decided to hop in because of the hype from the last week or so. I'd be willing to bet that if this pre-patch didn't exist, then he'd convince himself that he was way behind the wave, so the experience wouldn't be as solid, therefore he just wouldn't play. We could debate all day about whether or not it's a good mindset, but the reality stands that it happened. And it happens far more often than we might think. Not wanting to play TBC though is kind of like not wanting to bite a piece of cake. Let's all be honest with ourselves here, we all want a bite of that slice, even though we know in the end it's just gonna make us fat and sweaty and tired. Did I really write that? Really? Those comments on my poll do still raise a good question. Does there need to be a pre-patch? Wouldn't it just be better for everyone involved if you just released the content up front and everyone ran in to experience it? There's a strong argument there. As gamers, we just want the thing now, and any padding along the way is just filler content. It's time wasting at its finest, and it exists only to arbitrarily inflate the hype of the product. Well, that's what it seems like at least, but there's another layer to consider. I have created a really special and clever label for this layer, by the way, and it's called human psychology. I know, it's brilliant, right? There's a massive element to why pre-patches work, and it's arguably so strong that it completely outweighs all arguments against it. It's a phrase many of us know, and once we're aware of its existence, many of us hate. It's called the fear of missing out, otherwise known as FOMO. This is an insane tool used in marketing to create a feeling of potential loss, so you are more willing to buy a product that you might not normally buy. In fact, FOMO is the entire tool utilized behind pre-order culture, which is a whole nother topic we might hit one day. However, a company understanding FOMO and having it benefit them isn't inherently a negative business tactic as long as the methods that are implemented are in the best interest of the consumer. One of the most important moments of an MMO is the launch window. We all know this. It's the reason the whole quote-unquote fresh movement exists in the classic WoW community so much. We don't take time off work to play week number 17 of a WoW patch. Our vacation time comes at the launch of the new big thing. The new expansion where the rush of players is great and the experience is unique. Blizzard knows this, and that fear of missing out on the opening window of an expansion can get people to simply never try it for the first time, or to even get returning players back. While yes, an extra 4 weeks of pre-patch gets another $15 out of the player base, it's more than that. A pre-patch serves as the anticipation to set the pacing of what's to come. It gives returning players a time to come back to grips during this window of preparation, where everyone is abuzz and excited for the horizon. It's the virtual equivalent of waiting outside the convention hall hours beforehand in order to get pictures with the cosplayers and chatting with others and all of these other people who know something cool is about to happen. By making sure players have that time set up, they know they never have to fear missing out on the opening of that big event. And before any of you call me a Blizzard shill by saying that giving them an extra month worth of subscription money is actually a good thing, because I know that's what some of you will do, please feel free to check out some of my other videos where I'm also now called a Blizzard hater. If I get called the shill from this one, it'll be pretty fun. And then all my points get thrown out the window because there was a 16-hour maintenance. Yeah, that sucked. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did, quick before you go, please hit that like and subscribe button to at least let me know that you liked it and it was worth your time and you want to see more, and also to appeal to the YouTube gods. Let's all be real here. We all know how this works. And also, if you do want to follow me over on twitch.tv down there, then you get to see me live stream and we get to have a lot of fun and chat, and I have a very competitive relationship with one another, but the live streaming that'll be happening for the TBC launch is going to be bonkers. So feel free to stop by. Also, if you want to hear my general ramblings on gaming as a whole, also follow me over on twitter.com/Sabraxi. And I think that's all I have for you. Thank you again for watching. You all are the best, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!